Good day everyone. Today, I will be going to discuss the topic about taxation. But before we start the discussion, let us first read the specific objectives of these lessons. At the end of the lessons, the students will be able to define tax and taxation, internalize the nature and powers of taxation, and determine the importance of taxation. Here is the overview of our topic. The power of taxation is inherent of the states. It rests upon necessity, the significance of which stems from the recognition that since the government has been established to promote and protect the general welfare, it is necessary that the government should be provided with the means by which it could carry out its exercises the power of taxation. It means taxation has a special value in the field of government because it primarily helps the government to promote and protect the general welfare, safety, and support the needs of the government and its citizens. That's why taxation should be provided and continue to exercise those powers of taxation. Now, let us first find out what is the definition of taxation. Taxation is the supreme power of a sovereign state through its law-making body. It imposes burdens of changes upon persons, property rights for public purposes. It is the power vested upon legislative for the purpose of raising revenues to finance government expenditures and for the general welfare and protection of its citizens. In more abbreviated, taxation is the supreme power of the sovereign state. It is the power fully implemented for the public purposes and seek to raise revenue to fund the possible needs of the government for the welfare and protection of its citizens. Here is another definition of taxation. Taxation is a system of raising money of finance government. All government requires payment of money, taxes from people. Government use tax revenues to pay soldiers and police, to build dams and roads, to operate schools and hospitals, to provide food to the poor and medical care to the elderly, and for hundreds of other purposes. Without taxes to fund its activities, government could not exist. It means we pay tax to reimburse the government for those who and what have need to be paid. As we can see, those who are mentioned earlier, they are the one who serve for the government and of course for the people. It could be still be safety or health. So it's true that without taxes, government could not exist. Now, let us define what is tax. Taxes are compulsory contributions to support the states. It is considered as the lifeblood of a government that without which a government may not be able to perform and expenditures are financed by tax revenues. It is but right and proper that we pay our taxes. This means tax is compulsory contribution in support of the government or states. We citizens should pay taxes because it benefits and serves a positive impact on us and especially for the government. Let us find out the basis of taxation. First one, the authority to tax is inherent to everyone's sovereign state, for without it, the government cannot continue to promote the welfare of its citizens. For these reasons be it that the power to require all its inhabitants to pay. It says that the government has the power to sue the people who live here to pay tax because if no one pays, the government will not continue to promote the welfare of the people because they do not have resources. The next basis of taxation is found in the state of those who are subjected to its authority to return of their contribution. Tax payers enjoy services and protection from the government. It tells that taxation is paid in exchange for the contributing protection and support of the people who is serving for the public purposes that supports by the government. There are also 4 R's of taxation. The first one is revenues. Revenues is collection of funds to spend on services. This is raise money to build roads, schools, hospitals, and other provide services and safety of the people. The next one is redistribution, transferring wealth from rich to the poor. It means it is the transfer of wealth from people to the poor. The third one is reprising. Reprising is encourages or discourages. For example, imposition of tax on tobacco covered externalities in tax to discourages smokers. And lastly, representation. Representation is the study of direct taxation and indirect taxation. In taxation, there are also types of classes. The first one is direct taxes. Direct taxes are primarily taxes on persons and they typically base on the taxpayer's ability to pay as measured by income, consumption, or net wealth. So that means direct tax is a money that is often paid by an authorized body or person or what we call an individual. While the next class of taxation is indirect taxes. Indirect taxes are levied on the production or consumption of goods and services or transaction including imports and exports. So it is indirect financial payment from the primarily price payer. Let's go now to the importance of taxation. The people, as a good citizens, have the responsibility to contribute a fair share to cost of government in order for the states to raise revenues. No government can exist without it. It cannot promote the welfare of the people. As I said a while ago, no taxation government could not exist. Second, protect locally products goods against competition from imported by imposing higher customer duties. Because of the taxation, local products will be promoted and customers will be choose to buy local products. The third one is protect new industries by granting expectations. You as a worker or businessman, with the use of taxation, they will be protect your business and industries. Fourth, regulate properly. Of course, there is orderly and peaceful management, government, citizen, environment, states. And lastly, distribute equally the wealth of nation. The money of nation will be equally divided on its citizens in a good way. If there is importance, there is also characteristics of taxation. First, it is an enforced contribution. All citizens are required to pay their taxes. Failure to pay due is subjected to penalty provided by law. Second, it is generally payable in money. Payments of checks, promissory notes, or kind are not accepted. The taxpayer must pay their taxes in terms of prevailing currency. Third, it is proportionate in character. Collection of taxes is based upon the income and the property of taxpayer. The higher the income, the higher the tax, and the lesser the income, the lesser the tax. The fourth one is it is levied persons, property, or property rights. It means that a person who receives an income based on skills and practice of professions are required to pay their taxes. He is also taxed based on the acquired properties deemed as taxable. The next is it is levied by the states which has jurisdiction over persons or property. In real property taxation, the rule is the place or states where the property subject to tax is located has authority and jurisdiction to impose tax. In movable property, the rule is mobilia sequuntur personam, a Latin phrase which means movables follow the law person. The sixth characteristic is levied by the legislative branch of the state. There must be the law enacted by the Congress before assessments and collection may be implemented. The power of taxation may be neglected by the Congress to local government units subject to conditions and terms prescribed by law. And lastly, it is levied for public purposes. It is intended to raise revenues for public purposes. It is considered for the public purposes if the proceeds, therefore, are used for the support of the government or for the welfare of the community. That's the end of our report. Thank you for listening. God bless and keep safe.